Imagine the electric buzz of a legendary rock band reuniting for one final epic performance at a historic stadium. It's the stuff of dreams for fans worldwide. But as bassist Geezer Butler recently shared in his wife Gloria's podcast, Gabbing with Girlfriends, the reality behind Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning concert was far more emotional and surprising than anyone might guess. Diving deep into this reunion, Geezer opened up about his initial hesitations, his jaw-dropping reaction to Ozzy Osbourne's fragile state, and the heartfelt reconciliation that made it all worthwhile. But here's where it gets controversial. Was it right for Ozzy to push through such extreme health challenges for the sake of the stage? Or does it raise bigger questions about fame's toll on icons? During the podcast, Geezer tackled questions from listeners, including one about his first thoughts on joining this monumental event at Villa Park in Birmingham. For context, Villa Park is the iconic home ground of Aston Villa Football Club, a place deeply rooted in Geezer's childhood memories. Think of it as the local stadium where he cheered on his favorite team as a kid, making the gig feel like a personal homecoming. I was curious about how we'd all hold up. Geezer admitted, reflecting on the proposal, he was aware that Ozzy's health wasn't optimal, and drummer Bill Ward had been struggling for some time. Guitarist Tony Iommi seemed enthusiastic, and Geezer himself was on board as long as the others were committed. I agreed instantly, he said, especially since it was at Villa Park, my beloved football team's stadium, and one of the first places I visited as a young boy. The rehearsal process kicked off with 2 days of jamming involving just Tony, Bill, and Geezer, building that classic Sabbath groove. Ozzy joined on the 3rd day, and that's when things took a shocking turn. The real surprise came when Ozzy arrived, Butler recalled. He had heard about Ozzy's serious illness, but hadn't fully grasped the extent of it. Ozzy entered with assistance from 2 aides, visibly reliant on support. Geezer was floored by the sight. But true to form, Ozzy lightened the mood with some signature humor. To accommodate his condition, an armchair was arranged so he could sing while seated, as standing wasn't an option. This setup highlights the challenges of performing when your body is betraying you. Imagine trying to belt out rock anthems from a chair, all while keeping the energy alive for a stadium crowd. The band worked through about 6 or 7 songs, but narrowed it down to 4 or 5 that felt strongest and most comfortable, given the time constraints of the show. It was a pragmatic choice, ensuring they delivered a tight set without overtaxing anyone. After that selection, they slipped back into their old rhythms effortlessly. Ozzy could only rehearse once through the songs before needing to rest, so he'd depart and the others would refine the performance. And this is the part most people miss. It shows how reunions aren't just about nostalgia. They require careful planning to honor the music while protecting the performer's well-being. Beyond the logistics, Geezer emphasized how special the concert was on a personal level, bridging a 6-year gap since his last encounter with Ozzy. This rift stemmed from a fallout between Geezer's wife Gloria and Ozzy's wife Sharon, which kept the longtime friends apart. Due to the tension between you and Sharon, I hadn't seen Ozzy for those 6 years after our final show, Geezer told Gloria on the podcast. But once you two mended things, it all smoothed over, and reconnecting was incredible. We texted daily, sharing silly memes and jokes. It felt like old times. He's my oldest pal. We've been buddies for 57 years, so reuniting was pure joy. This anecdote illustrates how personal relationships can complicate band dynamics, yet forgiveness and time can heal even the deepest divides, leading to triumphant comebacks. You can listen to the entire podcast episode featuring Geezer right below for all the unfiltered insights. What do you think? Does pushing through health issues for a reunion show make it a heroic act? Or is it a reckless risk that prioritizes legacy over safety? And on a broader note, How do you view the role of family feuds in breaking apart and reforming iconic bands? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the decisions made, or see a controversial twist we haven't considered? Let's discuss.